I am Amaka O. We begin with the latest figures on COVID-19. Nigeria has recorded 544 new cases of COVID-19 in 19 states of the Federation, including the FCT. The breakdown shows that Lagos has the highest with 199, Ebonyi 65, Oyo 47, Ondo 46, Ogun 31, Edo 30, FCT 28, Katsina 25, Plateau 15, Bayelsa 11, Kaduna and Adamawa states 10 each. Other states are Akwa Ibom with 8, Gombe 7, Kano 4, Taraba 3, while Rivers and Abia have 2 cases each, and Ekiti with 1 case. The latest figures released brings the total number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the country as at 5th July 2022, 28,711. 11,665 patients have so far been treated and discharged, while 645 deaths have been recorded in 35 states and the FCT. Still on COVID-19, protecting tomorrow's leaders today, especially in this era of coronavirus pandemic, is paramount, with government's directive that schools partially reopen. Correspondent X-rays the safety requirements for resumption of academic activities. Many parents and schools adopted the virtual learning system to engage pupils and students. This alternative has saved the gap following the closure of schools, in line with the stay-at-home guidelines for the prevention of coronavirus.
I take Zoom classes, and I also try to memorize the Holy Quran.
Lagos State government is set to partially reopen schools for those in transitional classes to return to classrooms.
The commencement date for this will be from Monday, August the 3rd, 2020.
Yes, I'm very happy. We've basically been preparing for this our entire lives.
Parents have raised concerns over certain issues.
Where I have concerns is with the teachers. Most of them come by bus to school. That's a concern. So the teachers and administrators have to protect themselves very well so that they don't pick up anything and pass on to the students.
Let them know they are not to share any of their personal effects with anybody. Do not exchange face masks or face shields or anything like that with anybody. Stick to your own thing.
And we are appealing to them to ensure that they provide for our students at least nose masks.
The students are preparing mentally and otherwise after weeks of being closeted. In Lagos, desperate times call for desperate measures, and this certainly is the mindset of scientists as they continue to search for the coronavirus vaccine. Instead of waiting for a scientific breakthrough, some people, out of sheer desperation, are brewing questionable concoctions for consumption, claiming the substances can cure for the prevention of coronavirus. Annie Daniels reports.
Since the outbreak of the coronavirus in Wuhan, China, nations of the world have been mourning, ailing and fretting. Although measures like regular hand washing, use of hand sanitizers, maintaining physical and social distancing, as well as wearing face masks are in place as stipulated by World Health Organization to curb the spread of the virus, new cases have continued to emerge, with more deaths recorded. Researchers and scientists are relentless in the search for a permanent cure for the virus. While humanity awaits the outcome, some Nigerians, out of desperation and apprehension, have resorted to seeking quick solutions, thereby patronizing local herb dealers. For instance, Sami is a local herb dealer. She attests to enjoying high patronage due to COVID-19.
People do come around, I want to prevent corona, I want to prevent corona, so we give them. We have prevention for it, like neem leaf, lemongrass and turmeric, ginger. You boil everything together and you drink. No kata, nothing, you feel all right.
Like Sami, Mama Odwa, another dealer, says this herbal mixture can help prevent coronavirus.
We say, he go get a cough, keep this thing. I will give her medicine, he will go. Immediately he will go. I know the one doctor called last week. I treat her. God will help me to treat her. He don't go.
Yes, dogoyaro leaves, lemongrass, ginger and garlic are in high demand this period for obvious reasons. Other respondents are doubtful of the accurate dosage of the virus herbal potions.
How do they know that it can cure coronavirus? How do they know it can cure? How many people they cure? Let them come out and tell the whole world this is the amount of the people, this is the quantity of the people who use native medicine and cure. Let them come out and tell the whole world so that the medical doctors will look after that.
With unanswered questions from the submissions of respondents and herbal dealers, I approached the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, a body charged with the responsibility of carrying out researches for infections like COVID-19.
We haven't had any proof to show that those things cure COVID-19 or prevent COVID-19. There is nothing that has shown that, no research that has shown that. So, but because there are things that people have been used to, they've been eating it for years, well, we are not bothered if they do. It's just that when they start to mix them together, and it may produce something else which may be toxic. So we like to tell the public to be a bit careful on some of these things that they buy and use.
Listen to more.
We are now working on what people will probably consider impossible in Nigeria. I think some people may even be laughing as I'm speaking. Vaccine production. Because we have the whole genome of the virus sequenced.
Surprisingly, these local herb dealers agree to World Health Organization's directives. And for these respondents, creating more awareness on the dangers of not adhering to safety rules by WHO and the dangers of consuming these suspicious drinks would drastically aid the pushback against COVID-19. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, Nta News.
Away from COVID-19 related stories to environmental issues, Lagos residents living in flood-prone areas are beside themselves with worry as the rains continue unabatedly spanning many days. Diana Ajale examines the challenges of the season and the effects on socio-economic activities.
Few vehicles on roads and sparse business activities are what Nigeria's commercial hub now present on a daily basis. The calm after the storm is yet to occur as the rains come down heavy every day, depriving the city's landscape the much needed ray of sunshine.
Because of this area where we do, especially this sand where they put for road, they disturb us small. Small rain like this, the thing don't scatter on my market. See my market here, dust everywhere, just they rough.
The rainy season, it used to affect the masses.
The complaints notwithstanding, the rainy season has its positive sides, which are pleasing to most people, especially farmers. Without substantial rainfall, food sufficiency will not be achievable. Yet, the season most times leaves the majority, particularly people in coastal areas like Lagos, anxious. Those affected cross their fingers, willing a suspension of the rains.
They are affecting everywhere. They are affecting business. Both the people that are selling, people that are cooking, people that are selling.
For us to get us to access the main expressway, we have to go through all sorts of transportation means just to get by.
Dealing with consequences like flooding, building collapse and property wreckage, among others, are calamities the world rather not experience. Residents all acknowledge that the solution to flooding is ensuring that the drainage systems are functional. This can only happen after the drains and canals are free of waste and other blockages. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, Nta News.
Still on flooding, the recent flooding experienced in parts of Lagos State brought discomfort and despair to several residents who predict that the city may soon lose its beauty if the trend persists. After taking an objective look at the issue, Annie Daniels arrived at a conclusion on the way forward. I know you can't wait to hear what it is, Annie tells us.
Lagos, Nigeria's commercial hub, is fondly called the center of excellence. And why not? The city is excellent in terms of its mega status due to economic gains arising from its dense population and abundant human resources. Check out the network of roads. And of course, its popular bridges that link the mainland to the island. There are several other factors that make the city tick. But during the rainy season, the mood is dampened literally by the resultant effects of heavy floods. People whose homes were overwhelmed by this annual menace in June this year recount the negative event.
If it's raining like this, I can't stay inside the house with my kids. My kids cannot stay inside. Even if I enter the sitting room, the water will pass my waist.
If you look at the houses here, they're all cracking because of water. And the flood comes from the canal. Even when it does not rain at times, water just comes back from the canal and flows into the street and overtakes the street.
Yes, there is a drainage system connecting the canals across the state, but they are barely effective. This blocked canal in Onyadiran Estate on the mainland, residents say, is responsible for incessant flooding year in, year out in the layout.
A lot of houses have encroached into the canal. Of course, if you look around here, the houses that are not meant to be on the canal. The width of the canal now, we cannot establish it because houses have been built on it.
Joy Bokwe is the special advisor to the Lagos State government on drains.
The lagoon is the level, so sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. If it goes down, the water will flow. If it goes up, it will not flow. So what we did is to put 2 pumping stations there. 2 pumps. And they're taking the water out. They work 16 hours a day. Is there working now. For plastics they are throwing into the drains, we are putting nets now. If you go to Alaka now, if you are going to Lagos, if you go to Alaka, stop and look left. You will see water hyacinth, you will see so many things, plastic and all that. If you put net there, it will not go. Then you can come and pack it. That's what we want to do now.
Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, also reacted to this recurring decimal.
We appeal to the people that are living in where the flood is more vulnerable to leave that place and move to the place that the flood will not affect them, the highland area. That's one. Number 2, we've started improving on our drainage system. You get that say clearing the primary way, the secondary drainage system, and the tertiary drainage system. And
the verdict remains clearing the canals of refuse and enforcement of the prohibition of indiscriminate dumping of refuse. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, Nta News.
And now to bring in relief the way of disaster victims. After 6 months of living at the Igondo relief camp, 300 internally displaced persons of the Abule-Egba pipeline explosion have received financial assistance from the Lagos State government to begin life afresh. Joy Ken Ababoya reports that while at the camp, they acquired skills through various vocational training programs.
Awe Odunayo Olumote are among 300 IDPs, the lucky ones who not only survived the Abule-Egba fire disaster of January 19, 2020, but now have something to look forward to. Following the explosion in January, the Lagos State government took responsibility of their well-being, partnering the Ministry of Poverty Alleviation to build the capacity of victims at the Igondo relief camp. 6 months after, these men and women, including their children, have every reason to be thankful.
I thank God for Lagos State, for what they have done for us. I am a retiree of 35 years.
As they depart the camp, the Lagos State government disbursed 225,000 naira to each household, while individuals received checks of 150,000 naira each.
Thank the Lagos State government and LASEMA. I thank them for taking care of me.
Startup packs for budding businesses were also presented during their stay in camp.
During this process, we improve their psychological thinking, social welfare were given to them. Children were taken to their various schools, so there was no distractions of their education. Apart from the fact that there was no destruction of their education, we organized lesson for them at the camp. So we have a successful camp for Abule Egba victims, and today they are back to the society.
The pipeline explosion, which occurred in January, was as a result of the nefarious activities of vandals. Several lives were lost and many displaced. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abapuya, Nta News.
You're watching Nta2 News at 1 o'clock. More reports when we return. Do stay with us.
Coronavirus spread is when infected people sneeze and cough. Small droplets of fluid expelled by cough or sneezes are laced with viruses looking for new respiratory tracts to infect. When a sick person sneezes around someone who is healthy, the virus can land in the nose, mouth, or even the eyes, causing an infection. Symptoms can include fever, cough, shortness of breath. Symptoms may appear within 2 to 14 days. Seek medical advice if you develop symptoms and have been in close contact with a person known to have COVID-19, or if you live or have recently been in an area with ongoing spread of COVID-19. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Africa's largest television network.
Welcome back. Nigerians have continued to express mixed reactions following the new pump price of petrol put at 143 naira 80 kobo. Ken Ebelue, who visited some filling stations in the metropolis, reports that people have adjusted to the new price.
Nigerians were already comfortable buying it at that 142, 143.
It's going to affect the masses, affect people walking around, and the increase in transportation. I think they should just find something better to reduce the price to the normal price.
There were things they saw that made them reduce it in the first place. And if that thing is still there, then they should find a way to consider the common man.
Some Nigerians expressing their concerns at the new pump price, calling for a reversal, considering the global economic impact of COVID-19, in which Nigeria is not an exception. But for these respondents who knows the mechanism behind the new pump price, advised Nigerians to look at the bigger picture.
What they are actually trying to do now is just to make sure that the fuel dealers doesn't really cheat Nigerians out of the pricing mechanism by selling at any other price that just higher to them. While other filling stations are witnessing low patronage, the situation is quite different at the filling station Ikoyi, and out of curiosity, I decided to stop by.
NNPC here, mega station in Ikoyi, Lagos, they are selling the normal price, which is 141.8. Most of the customers there, you can see the queue by yourself.
Nigerians are of the opinion that the downward review of the pump price will ameliorate the present economic challenges caused by COVID-19 pandemic. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluke, NTA.
Moving on now to the clamor against rape. More groups have joined the growing campaign against rape in Nigeria as the spate of the country is gaining global condemnation. Abolore Obara takes a look at efforts of law enforcement agents and concerned citizens to combat the menace.
Following the rise in reports by the rape victims, especially on social media, and police cases of victims who lost their lives after they were raped, the agitation for stricter punishment for perpetrators is rife. It is against this backdrop that a non-governmental organization, Campaign Against Rape in Lagos, joined forces with Nigerian police to educate and sensitize the public on why it's necessary to advocate justice through the force of law.
We are tired. We will no longer condone space for any rapist in our society. So we are saying that anyone found guilty after investigation must face the music, and not just a mere penalty, a stiffer penalty, because this is the only way we can get rid of this very, very wicked act against humanity.
Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 2, Ahmed Iliasu reassured Lagos residents that the issue of rape is being tackled by its officers and men.
The community policing engagement that is going down now to the communities, working with the community, not only policing of the community, but policing with the community will be part of the greatest solution to this kind of gender violences, because it happens in the communities and other areas like the garages, like the parks and what have you got. So engaging NGOs and engaging the PCRC, which is also a partner in this community policy engagement, and other charity organizations, definitely we find a solution to it.
The AIG called on members of the public, particularly victims, not to hesitate to approach the law whenever they witness or experience sexual violation, as the stigma of rape is fast fading. In Lagos, Abolore Ogbara, Nta2 News.
Judiciary is next, as a popular Lagos cosmetic surgeon, Dr. Nta2 News has been dragged to court by the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission for controversial services rendered several disgruntled patients. A series of complaints from clients who went under the knife in her facility is why she is facing trial. Tunde Saiki reports on the proceedings.
In a 5-count charge leveled against Dr. Nta2 and her clinic, Med Contour Services Limited, before Justice Mohammed Liman, showed that FCCPC accused the cosmetic surgeon of shunning summons by the Commission to appear before it and produce certain documents. This follows complaints received by the Commission against Dr. Nta2 and her clinic. The defendant, however, pleaded not guilty to the 5 counts. Justice Mohammed Liman admitted her to bail on self-recognizance in view of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The outcome of this case, what the FCCPC seeks in this case, is to compel the defendants to cooperate with the investigative process.
Earlier in the proceeding, the judge dismissed a preliminary objection by the defense counsel, Marian Jones, challenging the validity of the charges and the court's jurisdiction to entertain the matters. It will be recalled that the accused was alleged to have refused to respond to complaints against her from Marlene Oluwakemi, Taiwo Temilade, and Vivian Mwazoligbo that the surgeon services are unsafe for consumers. The matter was later adjourned for commencement of trial to the 9th of this month. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, Nta2 News.
Politics is next, as the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, says there is neither rift nor fighting within the ranks of the party, which needs resolution or reconciliation. The APC stalwart stated this while answering questions from journalists after a closed-door meeting with members of the APC Caretaker Committee at his Ikoyi residence. Nosa Usla reports.
The national leader noted that the party leadership had trust and respect for the chairman of the caretaker committee and that they were willing to support him to succeed for the party to continue its progressive governance of the country.
Sincerely, we have trust and respect for the character of the chairman of the caretaker committee and willing to support him to succeed for the party to continue its crusade of progressive governance in the country. We are steering the ship of our nation and our party in the right direction.
Chairman of the committee, Governor of Yobe State, Mai Malabuni, who led other members to the meeting, explained that the series of meetings is all part of the consultation being made.
It's all part of the consultation we are making. Yeah. The task before us is daunting and we need their experiences, guidance and prayers.
Other members of the committee in attendance include Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, Secretary of Caretaker Committee of APC, Senator Akpan Udo Edehe, and Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, Nta2 News.
And that concludes the news at 1 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Continue to put on your face mask to avoid the wrath of the law. I am Amaka O. Enjoy the rest of the day.